That is right, guys. This is my setup video, probably the most requested video for me to make ever. I decided since I hit 5 million subscribers and also 1 billion video views recently that I would do this setup video for you guys. I'm going to show you guys everything that I use to make videos, to play games, how I make the videos and put them up on YouTube for you guys, and also a cheeky little giveaway to thank you guys too. I'm giving away one of these bad boys. This is the recording device that I use to record all of my gameplay, the Elgato Hd60. All you're going to do is retweet the link down below in the description and you can be in with a chance to win this thing. We're going to talk about it a little bit more because it's how I record all of my gameplay, and one of you guys can win one of these and start your own YouTube channel as well. So the last big special video I did, I think, was for 2 million subscribers. I went through all of the Call of Duty games and put an hour-long special video together. I still love that video to this day, and I think it got almost 200,000 likes. I never expect to hit that many likes again, but if you want to support the video, I really appreciate it, and hopefully you find it informative and useful. We're going to go through everything. I'm going to try and talk about as much stuff as possible to let you guys know what I use to make all my videos into games. So first of all, as you can see over here, we have 3 screens. I have 2 screens that are linked up to my computer, and I do all of my editing and recording through those 2 screens. You can be so much more effective and more productive with 2 screens. I'd highly recommend it. Moving from 1 to 2 is absolutely amazing. And the third one behind me I use for actually gaming. I have all of my consoles hooked up to that screen, and that's all I use that one for. So I've got my PlayStation 4, my Wii U, and all of the consoles which are down below the desk, which I'll show you guys in a minute, hooked up to that screen. Now, in terms of screens, I change mine all the time. If you're looking for a screen that you want to game on, I would say keep it around the sort of 20 to 24 inch mark. All of these screens are 24 inches. You want the response time to be as low as possible. So response time on my screen is, I think, 1 millisecond, which means that when you're pressing the buttons on the controller, you're getting that reaction instantly on screen. I don't like playing on big screens at all because generally they have quite a big input delay, and that's not really what you want. So that's why you may be thinking, why have you got a big screen? That's the reason why. Now, I have a ton of controllers, like way too many controllers, but the controllers that I use for Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PS3 are all scuff controllers. You guys will have seen a lot of videos on these already. It is absolutely awesome. My favourite, of course, being the Allier scuff for the Xbox One. They come with paddles on the back so you can press buttons without taking your hand off the controller. It's got my awesome Allier logo. It's an amazing blue colour. The lighting in my room is horrific. I apologise for that. And it's also got trigger stops so you can push in the triggers a little bit quicker. And for Call of Duty, they're absolutely perfect. I keep most of the controllers that I use regularly on my desk just so I can easily pick them up and switch between consoles. So there's controllers everywhere, to be honest. There's controllers on the other side of my room, down on the floor. Too many controllers, to be honest. I'll leave links down below to the Allier scuff in the description. I'll leave links down below to almost everything, so if you guys want to check out more, you can just check it out down below so you guys aren't missing out. Now, you may notice that on my controllers I always have like these weird add-ons. They basically extend the analog stick just a little bit. They're called Control Freaks. I have packets of them, again, all around my room, but I have one packet on my desk with my favourite ones that I always keep and switch out for all the different consoles because the thumbsticks on the controllers all vary between the different consoles. This basically just extends the analog stick, gives you more precision, and I use it all the time. Can't recommend them enough. I've done a lot of videos on this, sort of explaining it a little bit more in depth, but definitely well worth it. Really inexpensive, and since I started using them, I can't game without them. And then just in the corner behind my middle monitor, you may be able to see that little pack there. Essentially, that's the wireless pack for the headset that I use. I always have this headset on. You guys always ask why I have it on, and it's fully wireless, and it links directly into my computer sound and also my console sound. And since I'm always either editing or listening to music or watching videos or gaming, I have this on almost all the time. It's the Triton Warhead wireless headset. But I believe I'm actually going to be upgrading my headset soon to a newer version of their wireless headset range. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. But again, I'll link everything down below. And it comes with battery packs as well. So you don't need any like actual batteries. They just get recharged and you just replace them inside the console there. So I use it all day, and I probably only change the packs maybe like once every other day. And that's how I get all of my audio straight to my head. And that's why I have it on my head all the time. You see me in my thumbnails with that headset on as well. So moving along, I've got my watch, which is, I think it was an 18th birthday present from my parents. It's actually a really nice watch, but I don't really wear watches very much. I don't know, I tend to like fidget with it quite a lot and mess around with it, so I just leave it on my desk. Over here I've got a leftover Monster Cat. As you guys know, Monster Energy and Call of Duty partnered up to get double XP for Advanced Warfare, and I was streaming yesterday for 3 hours on my second channel, more Ali. This kept me going, and I've also got streaming set up far more effectively now, so I should be able to stream console games here on this channel almost perfectly, so that's really exciting. Over here I've also got a load of rubbish. I've got a load of USBs from events where I'm recording stuff and I put the footage onto USBs. I've got a custom keyring here with my name as a registration plate. Fortunately not real. It would be pretty cool to have your own name as a registration plate. Probably quite expensive and rare to get. It probably won't happen, but some more stuff that you'll always find on my desk is my passport. So I'm fortunate enough through YouTube to do a lot of traveling. I think I've been to Canada, America, Germany, France, Spain, crazy amount of countries just because I'm making videos on YouTube, and I always need this thing. I don't move much of the stuff on my desk unless I'm moving it, so I keep this here just so I never lose it. I'm actually going to Las Vegas later this week, so that's going to be really fun. I'm going to need this again. I'm definitely going to record some vlogs there as well, so look forward to that. I've also got my iPhone. Now, this thing is just a godsend. Whenever I'm away from my PC, it means I can actually connect with you guys, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything directly on my phone, and on top of that, have an app which allows me to access my computer from my phone. So if I'm out and about and I forgot to maybe upload a file or need to access my computer to do something, I can do it all remotely through my phone. And of course I released the Ali SIM recently, which is crazy. A load of you guys, I think almost 25,000 at the moment of you guys have picked one up, and you can still pick one up if you're in the UK. And that will give you access to 4G, which means you can get crazy fast internet speeds on your phone, and to be able to access my computer and just do stuff remotely is absolutely amazing. And when I was a kid, like, that was not possible, so that's really, really useful. On top of that, I like to do a little bit of portable gaming. I'm a big Nintendo fanboy, so I got my 3DS. This is a special 3DS that actually means I can plug it into the computer and record gameplay of the 3DS. I did a live stream on this just a few days ago on my second channel. That was a live stream I did for 3 hours, so that's quite a cool bit of kit I thought you guys would be interested in. I've also got my wallet here, which is honestly a mess. Like, it's so thick I can't even close it. It's filled with business cards that I pick up when I go to events, other important cards, loose change, and I need a new one. Like, this thing is falling apart, but I always have it with me, always take it around with me. Who doesn't? They may have noticed this little bit of paper underneath my wallet. Now, this is interesting. This piece of paper was written by myself almost 4 years ago. So almost 4 years ago, I was moving into sixth form college, which is where here in the UK you do your A levels for 2 years. And I'd moved into sixth form college with about 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. It was very, very much just a fun hobby. I was not earning any money from it at all. I didn't get very many views or anything. I was pretty much more of a consumer. I sat down and watched gaming videos all day, but I was also doing it for fun on the side. Now, I got my first job when I entered sixth form, and while I was at my job working, I wrote down some stats. So I took a look at the 2 biggest Call of Duty channels in the world and wrote down their stats, and then wrote down my stats. And this was on the 15th of March 2011. They had hundreds of thousands of subscribers, tens of millions of views, and then there was me sat there with like 10,000 subscribers. And I never thought I could ever turn this into a full-time job, but it just proves that you may be watching this video now thinking, wow, Ali A or whoever has loads of subscribers, they can never be as big as him. But if you have the motivation and the passion and you enjoy it, and you really dedicate your time to it, it's definitely possible. Like, I've seen channels over the past year that have grown bigger than me, and like, they've only been making videos for like a year. Like, anybody can blow up, anybody can do well on YouTube. And I just keep this piece of paper, don't know how I haven't lost it, to be honest, just to remind myself where I started off, and actually quit this job, started putting more time into YouTube, and it's led to this. So this piece of paper is pretty special. I like to look at it every now and then. So that was a lot of talk about the stuff that's on my desk. I've also got my webcam linked up here. This is the webcam I use to record all of the face cam footage you'll see in my videos. I've got another webcam here, but that doesn't actually record. That's actually linked into the Oculus Rift, which is this crazy thing here. Essentially, it's like a virtual reality headset. I've done a few videos using it on my second channel, so I'll leave those linked down below in the description. Honestly, it makes me feel sick, but it's crazy realistic. Like, it feels like you're in a world gaming, and it's absolutely insane. So I'll leave a link down below to some of those videos, and it's a very cool piece of kit. In terms of the PC that I use, I've got my awesome Alienware computer. I've had it for about, I think, 2 years now. Hasn't let me down. I've got a load of hard drives plugged into it. All the USB ports are used. It literally gets used for 10 hours a day minimum, almost every single day. And it allows me to render my videos, upload videos, do everything all at the same time. I'll leave a link down below in the description again to the specs and everything. And that allows me to have the power to make all the videos as quickly and as efficiently as I do at the moment. And then of course my consoles. It is an absolute mess, guys, not gonna lie. So many cables, so much stuff going under the desk. If we take a look at it, you can see I've got almost all of the consoles. I've got the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 and the Wii U hooked up. The PlayStation 3 is currently downstairs, hooked up to my living room TV. So loads of consoles. They are all hooked up to this thing that I mentioned at the beginning, the Elgato Hd60, which allows me to record in 1080p 60 FPS, which is now supported here on YouTube, so the videos look amazing. And I'll talk a little bit more about how that's recorded on my computer, but they're all linked into that. I can then switch between all of the consoles whenever I want and play them on that screen behind me. And it just means that everything's in one place, not messing around with cables all the time. It is a complete mess. I apologize. If you're a bit of a sort of tidy freak, then you're not going to like it at all. But you know when you just get used to something and it works well, that's the position I'm in right now. So everything's linked up, it works. This thing allows me to capture the gameplay, and that's how all of my consoles are hooked up together. So I believe that's everything in terms of my gaming setup. If I've missed anything, I'll leave links down below in the description, as I said. But what I want to do now is to switch over to computer view and show you in a very quick basic form how I record the videos and put them together for you guys. So let's switch over to computer. So now we're taking a look at my second monitor here. I've got open my Elgato Hd60 software, and as you can see, you've got a preview image of everything that's been going on the console behind me while I've been recording this setup video. It has a ton of features. I'm recording in 1080p 60 FPS. This little bar down here is one of the best features in the world. So you can go all the way back in time, up to several hours. So if you forgot to hit that record button, it doesn't matter. Just drag that bar back, find the clip that you missed, and then you can hit the red record button here, and it will save that for you. So I just pretty much have the Elgato on all the time, have the software open up all the time, and don't need to worry about a thing, which is absolutely amazing. You can also do live streaming directly through the software. I actually did that for GTA recently. You guys love that live stream, and I'm really excited to do more for you. You can also do live commentaries where you hook up the audio and it will sync the audio and the gameplay together into one file, which is really useful if you're starting out on YouTube. You can also have loads of different scenes as well. You can overlay your webcam, overlay loads of stuff. It's a very technical piece of equipment, but so easy to use, and I rely on it heavily and have been using these guys since the beginning, since I started recording in HD on YouTube. I've also got my webcam software open here. I'll record my webcam software. My webcam software will group the video and my voice audio. The Elgato will group together the game visuals and the game audio. Then once I've got those two files, I'll drag it into an editing program, sync them both up by just doing a sync. So what I'll do is I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do an action in game, and then sync those two videos up together so that I know everything's in time, and then I'll just cut away, add in music, do loads of stuff. So this is an example of a finished editing file. This is for a GTA 5 video that's coming out later this week. As you can see, you've got the preview window up in the top right, which allows you to preview what you're seeing. So there you can, actually I shouldn't be showing you all of this, I don't know. You can take a little bit of a preview. You can see my webcam in the top right there, you can see the gameplay, and I've just added loads of files. I've added some audio files, my logo overlay, face cam overlay, so it can get complicated, but that's only because of the video I was making was quite a long and fun one to put together. So that's the basis of how I record my videos, and that probably took a good few hours today to all put together. I didn't do it in one go, I did about half of it, had a break, and then went back and did another one, but I'm making 3 videos a day sort of minimum at the moment, so I'll do this process at least 3 times a day. Then there's a recording side of things as well, but it's good fun, absolutely love it, would never complain, but this is a little bit of an insight in terms of how the recording process works. So I think, guys, that is everything. I feel like I've rambled quite a lot, but hopefully I've answered your questions. Hopefully this has given you sort of like an insight into how I work. What I do plan on doing is another Q&A for reaching 5 million subscribers. I won't be doing that this weekend, but I'll be doing it in the near future, so stay tuned on Twitter. That's how I'm going to be doing all of the questions. So if you've got additional questions, I'll try and answer them in a video here on this channel very soon. Make sure you're retweeting that tweet to get a very easy chance to win this as well. But there you go, guys. I think that is everything. All of your support, guys, over the years has been absolutely insane. 5 million is just a crazy number. 1 billion views is just stupid, to be honest. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video. It's been good fun putting it all together. I just want to thank you guys for your continued support, not only on this channel, but also on my second channel, to be able to, you know, share my love for games, for not only Call of Duty, but silly games over on my second channel as well, and still have you guys support me is absolutely crazy. I cannot thank you guys enough. Here's to hopefully this continuing for as long as possible. I'm still going to be here making videos for you guys, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being the best. You guys are epic, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video.